Hello.
Hello there. Good morning. Well, I was getting ready to say good morning. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And who am I speaking with?
This is Diamond and Silk.
Hello. Both of you guys are on the line?
Yes, we are.
We're both here.
Man, I'll tell you what. We are highly impressed with you two ladies, you two young ladies. We appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome for what you guys have done. That video of Clint Stewart's release is definitely at viral status, and we were looking at the numbers of the views from your Facebook, from your Twitter. We're well over 1 million people that have seen that video, and people are talking about it. And I don't even know what to say other than thank you, and we admire you guys for what you guys are standing for. It means a lot to us, and probably a lot to the African American community of what you're doing. So I know you guys have about 20 minutes. Is that what we? Okay, you guys are busy. It's CPAC week, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we are so busy, and they're still booking us, and we're like, okay, look.
Wow. Hey, you know how honored I feel to have you taking a few minutes with us. That means everything. I can't say thank you enough for that. And wow, I was doing some reading up on you ladies. How do you guys sleep?
Well, with God, all things are possible.
That's right. We get our beauty rest.
Yes. And I've seen you guys all over TV. And my colleague Lisa and my sister has just joined us. Lisa, you with me?
I am here.
This is Diamond and Silk, the world tour ladies on what they're doing for President Trump and all these good things. And we're going to get into that here in a moment.
Hello, Lisa.
Hi, so nice to speak with you today.
And likewise. Thank you.
Okay, let me say this on the top of this interview. We're just going to go straight into it. Pastor Rose Banks of Colorado Springs Fellowship Church here has been a stout supporter and really a tower of strength, if you will, for Clint Stewart and these guys. There are 3 guys remaining: David Banks, Dave Zappolo, and Demetrius Harper, who are part of this IRP Solutions team that we're trying to get out, along with Clint Stewart being already out and Kendrick Barnes already being out. But we'll speak a little bit to that. That's our focus at this point. But we had to get on here and say a very, very special thank you for what you guys did to push this video out. And I think the last count from all the people from Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, we're well over 2,700,000 views of that video.
Right. That's right. To tell you the truth, we just saw something, and it touched our heart, and we decided to retweet it because that's something that the mainstream media do not want the world to see. And so we have to use what we got in order to get what we want. And we used our platform to say, hey, look at the good things that's happening within the black community. Look what President Trump is implementing to help the black community. And that was basically our intent. We didn't know that it was going to go to this, and we didn't know that the president would retweet it. We had no idea about that.
Wow. Well, that speaks volumes of the impact of that video, and then the impact and the influence that you ladies have regarding President Trump, prison reform, and that's going to be our show. That's going to be what we're going to actually be talking about in regards to that as we approach this. We're already in the election season, so
that's right.
That's a big deal. And like I was saying previously, Pastor Banks has been pastoring here for over 38 years in Colorado Springs, and she is a true pillar of strength to the guys. And she wanted to definitely, she told me, she said, please express to them my sincere appreciation for what you guys did. And like I said, you came across something, but you did something with it. And she is so very, very grateful. And she wanted me to definitely let you know that.
Wow.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And can I just also express that that's just following your heart. A lot of people just do not know how to go with the flow and follow their heart. And that's all that Diamond and Silk did. We followed our heart, and we went with the flow of things. And look at what's happening. you know, the exposure of everything that's going on. I understand that there's 3 more guys that's still waiting on their freedom. And so with that said, we didn't even know that. It was just it was about that seed that was planted. And all you have to do is plant the seed and watch it grow. And that's what's happening right now.
No, for sure. And I'll tell you what, the other 3 guys have endured. They're approaching 8 years right now on an 11 sentence. What I'm going to do, the email that I do have, how we were able to get in touch with you, is it okay that I send information about and send you their names? And I'm considering at this point to maybe sending some type of message out via social media about these 3 guys. And I'd be more than happy to send that to you guys. And maybe if you wouldn't mind, push that out as you guys did this one. That would mean a heck of a lot to us because they're all part of the same fight for justice. So the stories are both related. And man, that's a long time. And I'll share this with you, Diamond. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The best thing to do is to go ahead on and you start it. You plant the seed and you push it out wherever you need to push it out. And then let it do what it needs to do. Now, you're more than welcome to send us a link to, you know, wherever it is at on your social media, you know.
Yes.
Let me ask you this here. So the other 3 guys is locked up.
Yeah.
I think this is some penny-ante stuff, some bias.
Say that again?
Why are they locked up?
Right.
Well, here's what's crazy. These guys were IT professionals, developed some software to keep America safe from terrorist acts. And basically, this software was something that the Department of Homeland Security had never seen before. They were called to Washington, courted out there, showed this software, and they said they had never seen anything like it. These guys came together, made this software happen. I think they were getting ready to be put into the budget for over $100 million after they had implemented this software. And all of a sudden, I think it was about 2 weeks later, the FBI came into their business, said, we want to see financial records. Never looked at Yes.
Oh, gosh. Please forgive me.
No, you're fine.
Okay. No, I know what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
I see exactly what's happening.
This is the stuff that ticks me off.
Yes.
When it comes to our society and when it comes to black men or women creating something. And when they create something that's better than somebody else, now we got to put you under all of this scrutiny.
Exactly.
That's what happened. And then they come in there. Listen, the financial records is right in the middle of the floor. Go ahead and take a look. They had nothing to hide. These are respectable men, God-fearing men, church-going men in their community. And they come in, and you know what they did? They mirrored every computer trying to find that software, copied every hard drive. When they didn't find it,
they want to take their stuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly right. And you know what it took my mind to was President Trump making the point when he's calling out the FBI. And again, we know we got good people in the FBI, so let me say that. Good people are there. But for those that are not good, that's what President Trump has been calling out. And you're like, wow, look at this. And then you come up with some trumped-up charges, mail fraud and wire fraud, that sticks in any case that the FBI wants to bring. And these guys get locked up, taken away from their families. It was a nightmare. These guys had never been in trouble with the law a day in their life.
Oh, my goodness.
And what is
professional, I don't understand our society, and especially when it comes to our black men, why they are trying to, they emasculate. And I tell my black men, if you only knew your power. See, because if you wasn't powerful, they wouldn't try to stop you at all costs.
That's right.
See, if you was a drug addict, if you was selling drugs, that would be glorified and celebrated. But because you got some genius here, sitting here, okay, we're going to put this together because we can do this and that. You know what time it was.
What time it is?
That was because.
So,
but, hey, go ahead.
Not trying to make this about race. What color are the other gentlemen?
Well, they were told.
Oh, it's about race.
Oh, it's about race. They were black, and you had one Italian American. He's a white guy from the East Coast, but Dave Zappolo. Well, you know how that works. If you're hanging with blacks, we don't we'll count you as a brother too.
And you know what?
That's that one drop. Go ahead.
Dave Zappolo, he was not originally a part of what they were doing. What they were going after strictly the African American men, and then Dave Zerpolo presented something in defense of these men, and then they threw him in the boat as well.
Right, right.
That breaks my heart. Oh,
And Diamond and Silk,
you all, that breaks my heart so bad.
listen to this. No, please
Oh
don't do
my
that.
gosh.
I don't want you upset like that.
Oh my gosh.
But I
That
will
is so sad.
The deal is this. You know, this is something that we've been, all of us, been going through, even down to Diamond and Silk, with us being a brand. And
Right.
for someone to come along, and typically it's a white man or a white woman, to say that I made you. It's because of me that you're this,
Right.
and that. Or to even try to destroy what you created.
Right.
You know, with your sweat,
Right.
blood, and tears.
He was about to get probably a contract.
Yeah.
And then somebody came and messed it up.
Yeah.
Men take it away from their wives, their family, their
Their
kids.
kids. Yeah.
That breaks my heart, and that's why I keep telling black people it's time for us to wake up.
Yeah.
You have to wake up. You have to see this. These liberals do not give a darn about us because they put everything that is damnable to our health, to our livelihoods in place to mess us over. See, if that was some white men creating that, they would have gotten a contract. Let's call it like we see it.
Oh, yeah.
But because these were some black men with our Italian man, no, they got to go get that. And that's what this was about. Bias is injustice.
Well, I got something to
and it breaks my heart.
Well, listen to this. This may break it a little bit more, and I don't mean to do that. But let me share this with you really quick, why this is so important to us to bring these three guys out. David Banks has had a sister, LaWanna Banks Clark. We lost her a year ago this past November. She was taken suddenly with a brain clot. Family very, very sick. Here's the problem. David Banks, who is my brother, that was my sister who passed away. They tried. These are model people that have been in prison all this time. The BOP says, look, we'll let you go home. You qualify. This is what the website says. When we tried to get David Banks to be allowed to come to the funeral, he was denied by the warden, which was only about, what, Lisa, 40 minutes away?
Yes.
40 minutes away. And he was not given the right to even say goodbye to his sister. Lost her as a result of this wrongful conviction. They refused him that. And on the other side, like you said, a race thing, absolutely, because we found out later that other people were given, what, Lisa, 3-day weekend furloughs.
Yeah, they give 3 and 4 days.
Not for death now, for recreation. But they refused David Banks to bury his sister. LaWanna Banks Clark was a stout advocate with this organization. Had been on trips from Washington, D.C. with us. We lost her. And David Banks is behind that wall, not even being allowed to grieve his sister's death like he needs to. And you know what? We were going to have him back. We were going to have him back on time. They refused it. And this is why our push is so important for these three guys who have been away from their families, away from their church communities. And the pain, as you said, this breaks your heart. It's breaking a lot of hearts here because that is why we talk so long of what we're doing. My attention, Diamond and Silk, is to push this interview. If you guys are okay with it, I want to push this interview exclusively alone as well as play it on our show so people can hear the truth of what's going on within this city.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, let me ask you this question. Did they apply for clemency or pardon with the Obama administration?
Yes, yes, and as some of the people that picked up this video have said, Obama did absolutely. Federal judge, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Hurricane Carter, right? Hurricane Carter, this judge, H. Lee Sarakin, is the judge that sent a letter to President Obama telling him, look, in all his years, over 60 years in the system, he has never wanted to have clemency, ever. He's never even reached out to any president.
Never asked for it for anyone.
For anyone, but he asked for these men. That's how egregious this injustice was. I think we got a caller, Diamond and Silk, if you wouldn't mind them coming on and saying something to you. Go ahead. Bring them on. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, please. You're talking with Diamond and Silk on AJC Radio.
Yeah, this is Pastor Rosebanks. This is my family that we're talking about. I am so grateful to you. I don't know where your names come from, Diamond and Silk, but I am glad. I'm glad that we get a chance to talk to you. The injustice that's been done to these guys. Do you know how many years we reached out to the media? Nobody. Locally here in Colorado, they shut the media down where the media would not report anything about this case. You're talking about 21 FBI agents who raided their business armed and quarantined them into the break room and wouldn't let them go to the restroom unless they were escorted. All this was going on in that building, and no media story at all anywhere in Colorado. And then when somebody finally called here who heard about the case in Texas, in Georgia, called and said, "We've heard about this case, so why is the media not carrying it?" And they said to him, "We're going to tell you your best thing is not to get involved or ask any questions about it, because I don't think you want what's happening if you do."
Yeah, that's intimidation, manipulation, domination.
Yeah, it is. And it feels so good. It feels so good to me that the minute we put this on the table, you saw it exactly the way it happened.
Listen, let me tell you something. You know, I feel for our men, and I get so emotional about this because I know the country that we live in, and I know sometimes it's hard, and especially for our black men, and I get that. I feel it and I get it. But what bothers me is when people want to make it look like that stuff don't exist when it do exist.
That's
if
right.
these men were minding their business and they put something together and they was due to get $100 million grant, they are taming the American dream just like everybody else. How is it that they are okay with illegal aliens crossing our borders? They can turn whole towns into Spanish-speaking towns. They can get grants and live their life and take away, eat at the fabrics of the dream. But we're born on this soil. We're born on this soil, and somebody have a problem with somebody putting something together. That was about bias. That was discrimination. What I can see, that was these men did that. We should have been the one doing that. We can't let them do nothing like this. So what they do is they'll try to take it, or they'll try to make it look like they're doing something wrong.
Right.
Yeah, they do. And you know what? Homeland Security, Diamond and Silk, they contacted them when they heard about it. When they got through looking at it, they said every person in law enforcement, Secret Service, and everybody was at that meeting. And when these guys came back, that here's what they said to them: "You guys be careful because nobody else has this product, and the government's been looking for it forever. And so you got to be very careful because other people will come after you." That's exactly what they did. And the FBI, in fact, was there during the time they were showing the demonstration of it. They were there. All law enforcement at the top level to the lower was at that meeting. After Homeland Security contacted them and said, "We are going to take the first 2 modules of your software and we're going to put you in the budget for $100 million. 2 weeks later, the FBI raised that business.
And Obama didn't step in? He didn't see this?
Well, no, he didn't. He didn't. And you know what? Judge Sarakin is a highly recognized federal judge who sat on the bench for many, many years and was in law enforcement for 60 years. And when he said, "I'm going to write a letter to Obama to please give these men clemency," he said, "I went over their entire case." You know what he told us? He said, "If I look at this case and find one thing that you did wrong and you're not telling me the truth," he said, "I will back away from it and not touch it." He fought this thing and fought it and sent a letter to Obama and said, "Would you please take a look at this? These guys did nothing wrong, and they have been put in prison."
They were
and I'm telling you,
they were railroaded, you all.
So the product that these guys created, the software, is it being utilized right now?
Right.
No, but it is.
No,
it is.
No.
Go ahead, Pastor Banks.
No, it's not. But they still have it. But once they did that,
Who have it?
And here's what
Yeah.
We got
it.
Our family has it.
Okay.
And
And
nobody else
has
I
gotten
have
it or tried to copy it or anything like that.
No, they couldn't. They couldn't.
Okay.
And Diamond,
Okay.
check this out. Our guys kept that here. They came to try to get it, and when they couldn't get it, they indicted them without anything to support what they did. And then they're taking to court. The guys can't afford an attorney because it's 6 of them, 5, 6 then, but now 5. And they did everything they could in courtroom. They wouldn't let their expert witness come in. They wouldn't let them bring in their evidence. You will believe what they did to these guys.
So they did to them like what was done to President Trump.
Oh yeah, railroaded.
That's what's
It's
going
it's abuse of power is what it is. It's abuse of power because somebody got jealous because those black men created something that they couldn't create. So we can't go steal it from you. What we'll do is we'll mess you over. We're going to railroad you and throw you in jail.
And what they did was put them in prison from 7 to 11 years. These guys have been away from their families. We had children that get ill with high blood pressure and all kinds of stuff about their dad and haven't been taken away from them. And they wouldn't give us anything. Even when they appealed it, they turned it down. They messed up the transcript in court and hid it when the judge she violated their Fifth Amendment right and made them take the stand. And then when the guys tried to deal with that point of view, how can you do this? We're not supposed to have to take the stand. She said, you either do it or I'm going to close this case down. You will believe the cruelty that's been done here.
And that was
so Mr. Clinton Stewart, he is released because of the prison reform, right?
Yes.
So he's not released because, let me make sure I'm saying this right. He's not released because they're saying that he was wrongfully jailed.
No.
He's just been released because of what President Trump implemented. His name have not been cleared.
Correct.
No, it has not.
Everybody's name need to be cleared. They need to be released. Their names need to be cleared, and their livelihoods need to be given back to them.
Absolutely.
Period.
That's exactly. Yeah.
Because this is injustice at its finest.
But you know what, Diamond and Silk, the fact that President Trump is the only person in the office that didn't mind stepping on it and calling it out for what it was. And while we had an African-American president who could care less, and the American people and black people in this country better wake up to the fact Obama did nothing for the black race.
He did nothing. Listen, I agree with you. The only ones he did something for was for the elites. He ran on hope and change. We was hoping something was going to change, but nothing changed. But he made out with a lot of change while all of us got shortchanged. Because remember, he went in that White House poor, and now he's filthy rich. Understand that? So, but if people can't see it, shame on them. But when you look at it, now see, this is clearly, to me, that seems like some white supremacy to me.
That's right.
Whenever you take and you railroad somebody and you take away their livelihood because you jealous, because you envious, because you couldn't create it. Yeah, they do it all the time. Yeah, that's what we got to call out. And that's why I love President Trump. And that's why even when they were trying to railroad him, I didn't have a problem with calling it out. We're living through the new Jim Crow day, you all.
That's right.
This is just what it is. And shame on Obama for not looking out, especially for black people. Shame on him. Now listen, if you done something wrong, you do need to be locked up. But if you ain't done nothing but you created something, and you was going to get a grant to have Homeland Security to secure our country. And then all of a sudden, somebody don't like that because they want to get it. That's wrong. That's railroadment. And somebody need to be held accountable for it.
What was that question?
Truth.
Yeah, and you know what?
You know what? I thank God for you. I thank God for you, Silk and Diamond. I appreciate you listening to us. We couldn't get nobody to hear us for years, no matter what we did. And our guys the guys here took about 50 different trips to Washington, pleading on the Hill, and still we got nowhere. Until until finally we came with the Republicans on that side. Those are the people who kind of picked it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like whenever we were being censored on Facebook, Democrats, they could care less. They said what we were doing was calling this, they called it a hoax. Is what they did. They said we were lying about it. But it was the Republicans that allowed us a seat at the table to come there and tell what was going on, not the Democrats. The Democrats in Congress, those same Democrats that talk about no justice, no peace, and equality for all, are the ones that tried to destroy Diamond and Silk for making $1 too much.
But this
the First Amendment
on social media.
That's right.
So I get it. I understand it. But enough is enough, and it ends today.
It ends today.
So we got to start figuring out how we going to advocate. We need everybody released.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
right.
got caught up in this foolishness. Release. Their names need to be cleared, and their livelihoods need to be given back to them. Because they done missed out on their children's lives. They done missed out on their wives. I mean, you see what I'm talking about? No. We need to get this. Somebody need to right a wrong here.
That's right.
Is what needs to happen. Yeah.
No.
It needs to be done ASAP.
And President Trump is the only man who can do it.
He is the only man that can do it. You know what? For so long, people, everybody, under the sound of my voice, y'all, because we changed, we switched our party, have been conditioned to vote one way.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone.
That's right.
You have to think outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Diamond and Silk did. We started thinking outside of the box. And it took a billionaire businessman to come in and change the whole game.
That's
and
right.
see, I told Silk the other month, I said, you know what, don't be surprised if President Trump don't get up and start pardoning people and granting people clemencies. And I see more of that because we're dealing with a flawed system here.
Yeah.
And some stuff has got to change.
Oh, it must
That's
be.
true.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Diamond and Silk, I guarantee you, y'all have been through the fire from one end to the other just because you spoke out for what was right.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, they call us all kinds of names. They call us cool Uncle Toms, Aunt your mama, not your mama, Bahama mamas. But guess what? What you won't call me is crazy.
It's dumb.
We can no longer vote for a system that keeps handing us crumbs, that wants to destroy our very existence. And I tell black people, if you only knew your power, if you only knew your power, they wouldn't try to destroy you. They destroy you because you are powerful. You just don't know it. See, let me tell you why I say that. Because in the communities, you have a liquor store on every corner. You have an abortion clinic every other block to kill your baby. Drugs is peddling in the neighborhood to take you out of here or to put you in jail. Everything is designed to take down the black man, and it's time for our black men to start waking up. And find out, hey, there's something wrong with this here. And so when I hear them call us white supremacy, no, let me tell you what's white supremacy. When I look at these cities that's being ran by liberals, you have the haves and you have the have-nots. And in the have-nots community, they have literally nothing. Rats running everything. And then when you call them out, everybody want to call you a racist or a white supremacy. No, white supremacy is when you have these left-leaning liberals that don't give a darn about Americans. They skim off the top and they leave the American people at the bottom. They don't care about us black people because if they cared, they wouldn't have a border that's wide open to let people influx in here, and we don't even know who these people are. If they cared about us and us obtaining the American dream, because let me tell you something, we deserve the American dream. Here's why. Because our ancestors built this country, and we are descendants of those ancestors. That's why we deserve, and we not no immigrants to this country. We were born right here on this soil. What happened to those guys should not have happened. And we're going to have to advocate. I want them all home.
Yes, ASAP.
And Silk and Diamond, can we send y'all the dossier that tells this entire story so you can read it too?
Most definitely.
It has a lot to it. So have Lamont Banks to send that to you, and we hope to hear from you again. But I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it as a mother, as a pastor. I raised my children right to fear God, to fear to obey the laws of the land. And my son said, Mama, how can you do something for your country and they reward you by putting you in jail?
Oh, gosh.
That's
Oh, God.
Wow. Remember, it's not the country, it's the dirty cops.
That's right.
That's
it's the people that's running this country.
Yeah.
It's these left-leaning liberals. And I hate to say it, you all, but some of these people are black, too.
Yeah.
Left-leaning liberals because they've been taught to mistreat. But see, this is what the slave masters taught the ancestors to distrust one another,
That's right.
to mistreat each other.
Yeah.
And it just passed down generations and generations. And if you all done been up there to the hill, you would have thought one of them black congressmen.
That's
or one
right.
of them black senators, somebody would have looked at this here. But everybody want to ignore it because they want to continue to get their kickbacks and their patty whack.
That's right.
That's what it is.
And let me just also just say this one thing. You got to look at also the different legislations that's been pushed by Democrats to take and detain and put black men in jail. Look at the Clinton crime bill,
That's
1994 Clinton crime bill.
Right.
Look at how they did those bills so that you will have a reason, they could have a reason to lock you up. Look at the Jim Crow laws. That was put in place. Look, it was the Democrats that fought to keep black people in slavery.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Republican Party that fought to free the slaves.
That's right.
A lot of people are not being taught that one little piece of history. And no, the party didn't switch. The people switched. It was the people that switched, and people don't even know that because you have the Democrat Party that have put this type of ideology in people's minds to make you believe that we are the party for you. Now, if they were the party for black folks, tell me why black folks still broke.
And still poor.
That's
and
right.
still being railroaded in this country.
That's right.
Yeah. And a lot of those people have power up there. You can do something about this.
Yeah.
They could have advocated about this. They could have went to President Trump about this.
That's right.
But nobody is doing nothing. Shame on them.
Shame on them.
Shame on them. And I want people under the sound of my voice to understand that you're going to have to vote right so you won't get left.
That's right.
You're going to have to make sure that you vote red, vote Republican.
And you know what, Silk and Diamond? When
Yes,
when they couldn't get these guys to take a plea deal, they said we're not going to plea because we did nothing wrong. You know what they did? They came and took my daughter and staged a perjury trap for my daughter. My daughter did not perjure herself. They brought her into the grand jury. She wasn't even a part of this. They put my daughter in jail in Arizona for 6 months. And then she brought the evidence to court from a handwriting expert to say this woman did not do anything wrong. And one of the attorneys said it doesn't matter whether she did anything wrong or not. She gonna get some jail time. And my daughter was under so much pressure until I truly believe that's why she ended up having the head problem because
she had an aneurysm that's due to stress. She had a blood clot to the brain, correct?
Correct.
Aneurysm. Yeah,
right.
Stress can cause that. Yeah, stress can cause that. Stress can cause your blood pressure to go that high when that happens. Stress can cause it.
And this came down to, again, that pressure. And I said this on our show that all that was involved, Judge Christina Guale, the federal judge, the FBI, the attorney, the U.S. attorneys, all those that manufactured this garbage, I told them they were complicit in the death of LaWanna Banks Clark. They were complicit in that. Because at the end of the day, when you bring this type of horrific actions and behavior by a prosecution, by this whole process, and these guys being locked up, David Banks again being her brother, the doctors made it clear when she went to the ER and they asked this question: has LaWanna been under a lot of stress? Has she been under it? And all we could answer is yes, because what she has seen within this criminal justice system. And we are grateful to President Trump that stepped out and was able to get bipartisan support. People came together and he signed it. And that speaks volumes to the president on this prison reform.
Let me tell you something. We have a president, and let me tell you something. I'm not just saying this just talking. I'm saying this because we know this. We know this man who loves Americans and who wants to see us all thrive.
Yeah.
He really do. He gets tickled pink seeing people thrive and seeing people prosperous and seeing people come up.
Yeah.
So you have a president that's working for the people, and that's why he won this by the people.
Yep. No, I agree with you on that, and I think, like you said, President Trump is going to be interested to know how do we get these three men. President Trump started, with his business, built it to what it is today. He can relate to these men who set out. And why not get these men out and let them become an inspiration to this nation and get this AJC. I think
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Look, send that information over, okay?
I will.
And we'll talk off record about everything else because
Yep.
it is not fair. It's not a fair system. But we have to continue to bring it to the light, just like President Trump is draining the swamp, and he's shining light on all of the gook that's been there in the swamp, all of the rats that's been clogging the pipes in the swamp. We see exactly who they are. And so with him doing that, we have to continue to expose that no matter what. No matter what.
I understood it when he came out talking about how the Justice Department, the justice system of this country is all messed up, and he's pointing to the FBI. He pointed to everywhere there was corruption and people lives being taken away. We understand it, but please stay in touch with us. Y'all please stay in touch with us. We'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Look, we are all family here. We're family here. And those guys that's locked up, those are my brothers.
That's right. And
I don't care what color they are. I don't care what color they are. Those are my brothers. And we're getting them out.
They're coming home.
They're coming home.
Well,
thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes. And Pastor Banks, thank you so much for calling in. Diamond and Silk, I can't say enough for you guys taking time. I've enjoyed the conversation. Thank you guys so much for what you do and being a part of justice and advocates for justice. We appreciate it so very much.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
Okay, we'll be in touch. That's Diamond and Silk, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what, a powerhouse, a influence, and true advocates against injustice. We're so grateful for them. This is AJC Radio. We'll be right back.